We still have to work together until everyone is safe. We all win when we unite to prevent.
For more information, visit unitetoprevent.org.
Tune your radio.
Tune in.
Now.
You can tune in to this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone,
Android,
BlackBerry,
Nokia,
Samsung,
Windows phones,
or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy.
From over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at tunein.com.
Or your app store.
Talk radio that matters to you. This is Atlanta's inspirational talk radio. Love 860 WAEC.
860 AM WAEC Atlanta.
The following programming is brought to you by B.O.O.M Radio. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect the views of this station, its management, or Beasley Media Group.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Gotta get that. Boom, boom, boom. Gotta get that. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Gonna shoot you right down.
Yo, microphone check.
Do?
1 2 1
Yes,
2.
indeed.
What it do? We up in the building again. What's going on, everybody? Hope y'all having a wonderful and great Shabbat, a great Sabbath, a great Saturday. Grace, peace, and many blessings to everybody that is listening to the show. Definitely feel free to call up here. Our number is 404-355-8699. I know the brothers in the building. We in here deep, and we got a subject. One part of our subject, I definitely want to talk about that new Florida law that was passed or put through. I know our brother Eric is probably listening. He knows definitely about that Florida law.
Oh, so you trying to say Brother Eric gay?
No, I'm just saying. Brother Eric probably know about what's going on.
That just means he's happy.
With that whole, with the law. Hey, shout out to Governor DeSantis down there, man. Hey, he's straight gangster. He don't care about nothing what nobody talking about. He say, Florida, we do what we do down here. You don't like it, see me in court.
Sound like Donald Trump, huh?
All right, Devlin, what's going on, family? Y'all got something, man? What's going on, man? We're in the building, Minister Casey, Deacon Philip Fowler.
Yes,
what's going on? What's going on other than the apostle? What's going on? Doctor. What's going on, Howard Akins Jr.?
What it do?
What's going on?
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning into the show. Hopefully everybody can hear me. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat on the Facebook Live. If you can hear me, put a 1 on the Facebook Live. Hopefully we're streaming good and you can hear me good on here. Put a 1 in the chat if you can. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, man, we here for it, man. You know, glad to be back in the building again. And WAEC Love 860, one of the baddest inspirational gospel stations here in the ATL. Shout out to big homie Miles back there producing the show, man. You know, glad to see him again. So just here for it, man. Glad to be amongst the brethren.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. We might have a caller earlier. It sure do look like Brother Miles is on back there. We got a caller already. Good Lord. We can't even warm up
yet. No, hold on. Go ahead, Deke, because I want to actually make sure this is...
Hey, we can take the caller. Hey, what's going on?
Okay.
Oh, no.
They ain't want to be on?
That's Brother Eric. He's just listening. That's how Eric do. He always call in first, then listen. Then when you push his right button.
No, I need Brother Eric to call up here, and because we need to talk about this, the first part of this show.
He listening now.
Brother Eric, he's on?
Yeah, he just like to listen. He just like to listen.
Okay, Brother Eric, what's going on, man?
No, is he still? Oh, he on there. He just like that. That's how he does. He just like to listen for a while.
But he done been on this show too many times.
That's how he does
to get a warm up.
That's how he does.
He's supposed to enter into the course with Thanksgiving. he don't need no warm up.
That's right. That's how he does, though.
We need our brother Eric, man. Eric, I need you to get on this line immediately.
But let's go and pull him in there. What's your thoughts, Deke, on this new Roe versus Wade overturnment? How did you feel about that? Because I know we're pulling in on
Yeah,
that.
well,
side.
I know he talked about the Roe versus Wade and the importance of it last time before we got off the show. So that's something that we definitely want to get his commentary. He's like, I told you earlier we was in the car. He's like Jeff Johnson, brother Jeff. On I think Ricky Smiley show. He called and give us the scoop what's going on politically and everything in the street. So, D, what your thoughts is on this whole thing, man?
Yeah, I think it's a good decision for a lot of people, but I don't think abortion should be used as birth control. But I do think there's a population of women who may get violated, and it's not a consenting thing. So, that's my take on. I don't know how they're gonna go about doing that for a girl or a woman who gets raped and a baby comes. I don't know how they're gonna handle that, but.
I think that we was looking at a video earlier before we got here, and they had a young lady that was saying that she drove. I think did she go to New Mexico or Mexico?
Mexico.
She went to Mexico and spent $2,000 when all she had to do was go down to the CVS and spend $4.95 on some prophylactics.
Wow, I know they have a Walmart or whatever, they have this thing called Day After or something like that.
Yes.
Some type
Day
of
after,
pill.
morning after.
But even with that though, we being believers of the Most High, we ones that walk righteous and name the name of Christ and name the name of Yeshua. How does that even play with our salvation with this walk when a woman wants to go get a day after? Isn't that kind of like the same thing? You remember, because a guy got killed in the Bible for disobeying God. God told him to do a certain thing, and he didn't do it. He spilled his seed, and he got penalized for it.
That's
so
right.
wouldn't that kind of like fall sort of kind of in that same vein where you trying to stop something that God gave you as a blessing?
Man, you really trying to get into some.
I know. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
Some stuff that's not going to be. Everybody's not going to be in unison on that conversation.
Amen. Well, call in and let me know if you disagree or you agree.
Hey, he said he a yard living.
That's right.
Not the dead.
I'm just saying that's one of those things. I don't know, bro. What you think about that whole Roe versus Wade thing, man?
And I'm still learning more information, so I'm not that. I mean, I'm hip to it, but I'm not that school with it. So I'm here to listen to y'all, brothers. And take.
So first of all, before we even get, I think abortion is a conversation that can be had practically and spiritually. So let's just talk practically first.
All right.
Like, do you support abortion?
No.
At all? You don't support abortion?
Not at all.
Okay. You support abortion, dude?
I kind of touched on it a little bit. For someone who was molested, raped, or whatever, I support there be intervention in that. But if you consent to laying down with somebody,
now okay, since shout out to Rick King, since he ain't here, I'm gonna have to fight with you today then. That all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Most High is the giver of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we just building, talking. If a woman, God forbid, did get molested, get raped, and end up getting pregnant, could we say that it was in God's will for that woman to be pregnant, since He is the giver of life? Because so many people have tried to have.
That's above my pay grade.
I know that's what I'm saying.
That is definitely above.
I know. I'm just saying.
I mean, we know that all things, everything, whether it's allowed or it's enforced, us as believers, we know that we attribute that to the Creator. I'm asking you a question about your personal perspective.
No,
I'm not asking you.
I've never had one done. I never paid to have one done, and I don't agree with it. That's just why I stand. I don't agree with it.
Do you agree with war?
War's in the Bible. Yes, God is a man of war.
Okay.
y'all should see the look on Bishop's face.
I'm just asking the
question. Yeah.
I'm asking a question because also David had a child, that was considered to be allowed, but was not blessed by the Most High to do and produce, and that child didn't live.
But that was the Lord chose to do that. David and Bathsheba didn't go down there to see the caretaker or the witch doctor.
Well, we living in a whole different time. I mean, of course, there wasn't abortion clinics back then.
What do we think? Do we think women were having abortions back then? Could we see any reference to abortions in the Bible?
I mean, we see people who have children and sacrifice them to idols. I'm saying, so those sacrifice, even though there wasn't any clinics where you take unborn children and pull them out the way it's conducted today.
Okay.
All I'm saying is that this particular brother had a child that was done, that was not the Most High was not, his spirit was not approving of that, right? So all I'm saying, because you talked about if it's by rape, if it's by whatever, the Most High had to be, involved.
No, I was asking because just to say. Now I will backtrack a little bit on.
There's laws for about rape too in the Torah.
Exactly. I'll backtrack on that a little bit. Because I think I mentioned that video.
You can call in. Hold on, you can call in. The number is 404-355-8699. Mr. Casey, are you on the Facebook Live?
I'm not on Facebook Live, but I can get on there.
The number is 404. The number is also on the title of this video. Anybody want to call in? We definitely want to hear your opinions before we get into the conversation, the matter of this. So you can definitely call in and share your perspective about this. I'm still waiting for Brother Eric, who I know is listening, to call up here. If Brother Eric called up here,
Eric done hung up.
Eric done hung up.
Well, when he called back, he's gonna be calling back and say, "Patch me in." But yeah, let me backtrack a little bit on that.
He's probably watching.
Just as the video what I mentioned, Deacon and I were watching. I think one of the lawmakers, somebody was saying something to the fact that they're gonna try to do some kind of appealing for different situations. Now, if somebody has the fullness of what we're talking about, please call in to give us the proper information. So I will say that in the event that a one woman, God forbid, were probably molested and raped, then me personally, I probably would be more apt to give her a pass, quote unquote, and I know I can't give her a pass, if she didn't want to have that baby, because that was something that was forced on her when she didn't have a choice. Now, I will stand very adamant on somebody that's just out there sexually promiscuous and just had a baby and got pregnant because you didn't protect yourself. Now you want to go kill the child. That I'm going to stand on. But if you were molested or raped then, and you chose to have an abortion and did not want that pregnant due to a health issue or whatever, then I would agree with that in that sense.
Yeah, I think that it just depends. I think the intent of the purpose of the procreation. I think we have to dig deeper into looking at the intent and the reasoning behind it, right? Most people who do get together and have a baby, even when they aren't intending on having that child, there's still a reverence of affinity for both parties. When you start having a situation where there's someone who is pregnant from a non-mutual intent, and there's no affinity there, there's no love there, there's no purpose for procreation there, and a person is forcibly taking something from another person, I just look at that as that the reasoning behind it is wrong in the reasoning for it. Therefore, how can it be a blessing in itself when it was formulated out of a curse? Not to say that the other person, not to say that the other person who received the child, the woman, not to say that she's a curse, but the act of the reason why it was produced,
trying to make something right,
was
after
not righteous
when it started out wrong in the beginning.
Absolutely. Caller, what's going on? What's going on? Caller, call in. What's your name? Where you calling from? Holla at us.
Dr. Brown, this is Dr. Akins here from Miami, Florida. How are you?
What's going on? The Apostle Dr. Howard Akins Jr. What's going on? Harvest Reapers in the building. You. What's going on, Doc?
Listen, I tried to get in on the chat, but for some reason it did not let me in. But this is a very interesting topic. It's a very interesting topic. I would just like to say, from my own opinion, and I hardly ever make my own opinion, but there are so many ways, other ways that we can deal with this, the Roe versus Wade and this and that, and, you can't abort a child or what have you. But if a woman wanted to abort a child, they can easily do that without the law.
Right.
I mean, that's easy to do. But what I would like to say is there's so many options out there now. There are people looking to get children, people looking to adopt children. I mean, you can even, if a person doesn't want a child, you can drop them off at the fire station.
Wow.
So, so there's so many, at this day and time, there's so many different options. And, for them to make that a law, if they made it a law that a woman can't do it, they're still going to do it if they wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're making it illegal up until the 15th week. If the child, if the woman is over 15 weeks pregnant, then I think that's when I think the law kicks in.
Yeah, and I really personally, and it's like I said, it's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. Personally, I believe in that because the person or the child, it's a child,
right?
From an emerald to a child, and you're actually sucking the life out of a human,
right?
Without giving that child a chance, and so. Again, I like to say this. I think the woman, and it doesn't matter how she become pregnant, she should give that child a chance. Don't suck that child out because there's other options that you can do. You can always, again, like I said, a lot of people are just looking to adopt.
Right.
I know a person here in this area, and they're LGBT, and they've adopted children, and which I totally disagree. But they're taking care of these children, and they're making a way for these children. So again, I just want to say that there's other options out there. Don't just suck the child out,
right?
And suck the embryo out. At least give the child a chance, even if you don't want the child. And there may be somebody on here listening now. A person that say, well, hey, I don't want this child. But you can give the child a chance.
Right.
Put it up for adoption. Drop it off at the fire station or what have you. But at least give the child a chance to live.
Dr. A, because I think that my thing is, I think that there's more people. If we looked at the statistics on this, I believe there's more people who are willfully, and when I mean willfully, I'm saying a person laying down without any form of protection, laying down, having children, and aborting them because of the fact that, maybe they feel they don't want to take care of the child, or maybe some type of, whatever their life, this situation that they haven't met their goals, more so than people who have been raped and have been impregnated because of a rape. I'm not saying that there's not statistics for women that are raped and whatnot and gotten pregnant, but I believe that it's probably more, the statistics are probably higher for a person that's laying down with their boyfriend, not their husband, but laying down with their boyfriends and having children and getting pregnant, and all of a sudden now they want to get rid of the baby, or a woman that works at the strip club or somewhere and find a way to make money or whatever situation, she get pregnant and she aborts the baby. So I think those things are more willful. If we looked at the statistic on it, probably more so than someone that was raped and gotten pregnant. I don't know what your thoughts is on that.
I totally agree 100%, and I would say on just the other day. And when I say on just the other day, it could have been a year. And I seen this girl. She could not have been more than, I would say maybe, she had to be less than 30. And she had 10 children.
Wow.
And they were one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. And she get food stamps and all that, but then she got tired of it. And I said to her, because remember I'm a counselor and I do counseling on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, why don't you just stop having these children? And she continued to have children, but she had 10. She come up to 10, and she didn't want any more. So I would say to women out there, if it's that good, and you've got the money, and because you got people out there having children and just for the money and what have you,
right?
But just stop. If you don't want to take care of these kids, and you're looking for a man or a woman or people to take care of your children, just stop it. You don't have to do it. Just stop. And that would be my word for today.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Definitely.
Just stop. Because there's so many reasons why people have children. Some of them just, especially a lot of these young people, they just have them because it's good and they just want to keep having. But just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop. And if you get to the point where you don't want to stop, and don't abort the child. Have the child.
Use protection.
And then put the child up for adoption or what have you. Because there's many people out there now, Dr. Brown, that want children but can't have children. You see?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so all I'm saying is there's other ways and there's other means that they can do it without aborting the child. Can you imagine if Jesus was aborted? Because when we look at it, and just very brief,
King Herod tried to abort him.
Joseph was going to put Mary away.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I ain't that baby's
and
daddy.
what it meant by what he was going to put her away, he was going to have her killed. Because here it was, now she's coming up pregnant, and you never touch this woman. And then this woman going to come and tell you that she's pregnant with a child. But it had to be the Holy Ghost that went to Joseph and said, don't touch that woman. But if Holy Ghost would not have done that, Joseph would have had that woman killed.
Right.
With the baby in her.
That's right.
Yeah, you don't think about that. Yeah. I never really thought about that whole thing. But thank you for calling in. We appreciate you.
Dr. Aiken,
Yes,
thank you so much, man. We definitely going to have you back as a guest. Go ahead briefly, give out the information. Anybody interested in Bible college or any school and anything like that, give out your information real quick, and we'll have you definitely back on the show.
Well, I would say to you all, just call Dr. Brown.
Wait a minute, Dr. Les Brown, Dr. Phil Brown, Dr. Doodoo Brown. What
Dr. William Brown? Dr. William Brown is a graduate of Harvest Reapers.
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
And as a matter of fact, he's the head of our alumni, and he'll be walking the stage in October.
Hallelujah.
Who are listening,
Amen.
Just call Dr. William Brown, and he'll give you the information that you need. Dr. Brown, I told you I tried to get in on the chat. But some reason it wouldn't let me in. But awesome show. Awesome.
Well, we glad you called in. Again, I'm going to schedule it, and I'm going to have you come on, man, so we could just definitely have you on and talk and share some things and have some theological conversation, because we do have some skeptics, some good skeptics that I think that you'll find interesting that we'd love to talk about or talk to. So thank you so much, Dr. Aiken, for calling up, man. I really appreciate you. Love you, man, and be blessed.
Yes, sir, and God bless you, Dr. Brown. Thank you, and be blessed now. Have a great day.
All right.
God bless you, man, and God.
So what y'all
another
thoughts,
caller.
man? Okay, I know we got another caller. Caller, be patient for us real quick. What your thoughts is on things?
Well, this is what I want to. Do they pay a woman or a young lady to go full term that doesn't want to have the baby? Do they pay her to do that? Because it is dangerous for a woman to have a baby. So, do they pay her that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Now,
might not.
I don't know. One thing I'm gonna throw out too that we hadn't even looked at. I know Roe versus Wade is kind of like protecting the rights of the mother.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing in there about the father.
They ain't protecting your rights for what?
No. I'm just saying.
You got the seed. You ain't carrying it.
But I'm just saying. I don't I don't have a dog in the race as a father. I don't have an opinion in the matter as a father. What if I wanted to keep the child? I don't have a right. That's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
You know, there's nothing in there for the father.
Shout out to Rick Kane who just tuned in. Rick, call in. We want to hear your voice, man. Hey, they do have something. If you want to keep it to yourself. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's going on?
Okay, this is Eric.
Oh,
what up, E? How you doing, brother Eric?
We knew you was on. We knew you was on the way.
Hey, brother Eric, how you doing, man?
I'm in a perpetual state of struggle.
I told you. We just making him fun. I missed it to the car. I said he always gonna say that.
What's going on, brother?
I just sent Rick Kane and Will a note on Messenger to find out if they still had a broadcast. I didn't get a response from him. It was good to know that he's still around. Okay, so I'm gonna address the topic of the day in reverse order since you just had somebody there from Florida. Last year in the state of Florida, there were 82,000 abortions. Okay?
Okay.
And 20,000 of those abortions were after 15 weeks. Okay? And 21,000 of those abortions were after 15 weeks.
How many of those were African American babies?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I just have
That'd
the
be an interesting
that
number
Planned
to know.
Parenthood did. They don't do all the abortions, but those are the ones they did. Okay? You with me?
Yeah.
So if we're going to have a practical conversation about it, let's acknowledge that this is the killing of the offspring, not a it, a he or a she. You killed your offspring if you aborted. And that is a human being at a particular stage of development. Once conception is within 72 hours of sex, and after that 72-hour period has gone by, 3 days, there's either a boy or a girl in development at some point. Okay?
So Eric, let me ask you this real quick, and keep your thought, because isn't the argument kind of, for many people, is based upon what stage is this person, or is this child considered a child, or is just considered still an embryo or egg or whatnot? Is that one of the conversations, the reason why this abortion conversation is so heavy?
Yeah, it is. But amongst scientists, people that commit millions and millions of hours over decades and decades of the human experience, there's not a debate. That's a human life at the point of conception.
Okay.
That's your offspring. It is just that this is a human life at a particular point of development, like a 5-day-old child is at a particular point of development of separate from a 50-year-old man. It's just different, but that's a human life. You grow, okay?
Right.
So, and you grow as a result of natural sex between the mother and the father. So that's not the issue here. The issue is to what degree can a quality of life be provided, and that's why I told you up front when the person from Florida got off the air, 82,000 abortions in one state in the year 2020. Wow. So that's 82. So if all those mothers did decide to put those children up for adoption, and a lot of people change their mind once they've been pregnant for a while. They say, okay, I'm going to keep this baby and take the best care I can of him or her, okay? But a lot of people don't. That's 82,000 in one state.
Man.
That you're going to expect the human population to consume into adoption. And today, we have 407,000 kids in adoption in foster care right now. And we have 1,900,000 adults that are between the age of 18 and 25 that never got adopted. So let's be practical in our conversation here.
Yeah.
I understand it's a Christian movement. That Leonard Leo of the Federalist Society, a devout Catholic, picked every single one of those judges for Donald Trump, and he picked them. He was looking for Christians. He was looking for people that in their personal life were more loyal to their faith than they would be to their job, which is their faith tells them you do not abort. They're Christians, okay? And Trump took those 3 out of the 10 that Leonard Leo gave him. He gave them more than 10, but he looked for those. And as soon as they got on that bench and there was a case in front of them to be judged on, they made the case, as judges do, along with Alito, and said that, no, it is not constitutional, but it is also, although they didn't open their mouth and say it, against their faith, and since they're in power, they're going to put forth the Christian movement. That's what they did. That's exactly what happened.
All right, now, brother,
exactly
there are some Christians that don't believe in abortion. I gotta throw that out there. Keep a little.
407,000 kids right now are up for adoption. That tells you that most people are not going to adopt.
Okay.
Every year, I can tell you this about aborted babies. Every year since 1977, there's not been less than 240,000 black children aborted every single year.
Wow, so that's 13 plus 22. That's 50 times 20,000.
Gracious.
Now, how many? That tells you that most black people go forward with their births, because every year since 1970, there's been at least 500,000 live births. So most black babies gonna make it. They're gonna take care of their kids. They're gonna raise them. But let's be practical, man. We're talking about millions upon millions of people that are gonna go through the adoption and foster care system because people aren't gonna adopt them, and then they're gonna go into adulthood. They're gonna enter adulthood poor, as most people do enter adulthood poor because they're still 18, living off of their parents. But these people don't have their parents to live off of.
Right.
Hey,
and brother Eric.
Then they have to suffer the consequences of poverty.
Real quick, brother Eric, we got another caller, but I want to ask you this question, because recently, you still there, Eric?
I'm still here.
Okay. Recently, there was a law that was passed in Florida that was just sent to me yesterday, and I don't know if you're familiar about it, dealing with, the promotion of same-sex couples or something like that. Are you familiar with that law? That Florida's, it's almost kind of like a don't ask, don't tell type of thing, where you can't promote it, and the schools have been ordered to take down any type of same-sex posters or any type of promotion of it. You can still practice what you believe in that aspect, but you can't force it on anybody or put it in the curriculum as a teaching. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Okay, what's up with what's the depths of that, if you could share a bit on that?
The law essentially, and there's a few states that have that same, are making that same push, is essentially saying you cannot push this as a part of curriculum in the public schools. You could be a homosexual in the public schools, and you should have the protection of every other student in the public schools, including normal ones. I don't think homosexuality is normal, but I also don't think homosexuality is wrong. It's just weird or queer.
No, hold on, Eric. It's wrong as two left shoes. It's wrong. We can't. No, Eric. Hold on now, because we have to. I'm gonna have to take a stand on this and fight it, because there's certain things that we believe on this show, and there's certain things that we hold to. So I'm just gonna. I'm not combating against you personally, but the statement that you made, it's wrong. It's just. Regardless of what somebody feel about it, regardless of what your choice, regardless of what you say you is, it's still wrong.
I don't think Eric is coming from a spiritual point.
Even from a natural point, that means
Eric is arguing practically. He's not arguing.
Okay, practically, two men cannot have a baby. Practically, two women cannot bear kids. It is wrong. It goes against nature. Romans, the 1st chapter.
Okay.
It's just wrong. No, it's just wrong. Even nature. You don't see two male giraffes running at each other. You don't see two male caterpillars running at each other, bro.
He's trying to say something.
Actually, that does happen. There is homosexuality in the animal kingdom separate from humans. That does happen. What I'm saying is this.
Give me Bible chapter and verse.
He asked me about the law. Hey, man, I ain't promoting it.
Go ahead, brother Eric. Go ahead, man.
But what the law is saying is that you deserve all the protections of a normal child or student or employee, but you will not be allowed to promote it as a part of curriculum, which is right. It shouldn't be allowed to be promoted as a part of a public school curriculum, a taxpayer-funded public school curriculum, and that's where they're coming from with it, and that's reasonable. That's totally reasonable.
Okay, one more question. Do you think that that's going to, I would say, become infectious with other states? I'm pretty sure California probably might not get on board of New York. No. But I'm sure most of the South would probably, because generally when Florida does something, Georgia is not too far far behind. So do you think that's going to be something that's going to be kind of gain ground, or you think that it's going to just kind of, to each his own type of thing?
It's too close to call for me, man. But I do want to say this so you can go on to your next caller. In Georgia, the law is 6 weeks. And most women don't necessarily know that they're pregnant within 6 weeks. And that's giving them a very short amount of time to get their affairs together to make a decision between the father's family, their boss, their income, and just say, okay, I'm going to move forward. Georgia's saying, so what? You're just going to move forward. And maybe you'll look up and your kid won't be one of the 407,000 that year or one of the 1.9 million that become adults that don't get adopted. Jesus will take care of you. Blah, blah, blah.
Blasphemy!
Eric got to throw that in. He got to throw that in there. Eric, man, appreciate you for calling in, man, and thank you for keeping us posted on the latest that's going on within the government and everything like that. Just keeping us informed, man. We really do appreciate it. And ultimately, we definitely going to get you in one of these church services soon.
Shalom, Mark.
But blessings to you, man. And thanks for calling in, Brother Eric. I really appreciate it. Well, we really appreciate it.
Yes. It says, as Florida's Don't Say Gay law takes effect, schools roll out LGBTQ restrictions. It says some school officials have been accused of warning teachers not to wear rainbow articles of clothing and to remove pictures of their same-sex spouses from their desks.
Wow, that's interesting.
Because we want to respect everybody by the content of their character.
Well,
not special privileges, correct?
Amen.
Elder Eric, you got something before we go to the next caller? You just soaking it up, bro?
Well, since I'm just soaking it up right now.
Let me ask him this, Bishop, since we on this subject. How do you feel about Deke sent me a clip, a video, a post earlier this week. Right now, I hope it's not for the Atlanta Falcons. Maybe it's for the Florida Gators.
Ain't no for no Florida Gators.
They have now the first transgendered.
I saw that. Man, listen.
Cheerleader for an NFL team.
Listen, man, we not hold that.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna take.
He's
this
from
call.
Dallas.
That man. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Hello, this is Ali.
Ali, what's going on? What's going on with you?
This is first time calling on Boom Radio. I mean, y'all got it going on. I mean, I hear you mostly on Saturdays.
Yes, sir.
And I enjoyed the program along with a lot of the programs I recently called at night. But I want to talk about Roe versus Wade.
Okay.
And before I start that, Brother Eric just made a statement about animals being straight.
Yeah. You know, he was talking about it.
Animals be practicing.
I'm going to throw a pitch right at you. You hit the ball right out of the park. I never heard, and you say, well, show me a scripture on that. I mean, it was most laughable. Brother Eric just made me real happy when he said what he said. I know he meant well.
Right.
But what I want to talk about, going to Minister Casey, Roe versus Wade. This actually happened to me. And I would like for a real woman, to come behind me and make a comment.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Huh? We got another caller? Okay. Go ahead. I was just going to send a shout out.
He says it's a woman too.
Oh, it's a woman. Okay,
so she can hear him.
So you got a woman, a sister, that is listening after
I want
you.
To challenge her.
So so cool. So go ahead and spill your beans. She gonna come after you now. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you, hey, if she put them hands on you now with her statement, we gonna have to shout it out now. I'm just telling you, we don't discriminate over here.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, man.
Okay. Let's just say this happened to me in real life. There's no pass on, nothing like that. 20 years ago, and I was in my 20s. Maybe the third attempt that I've been with a woman. She's going to, I'm calling from Decatur, where's Greater at?
All right.
East side to least side.
Right. She was going to Westlake, school over here at Westlake, Job Corps. She was going studying business administration. We were going together. She ended up maybe the second time getting pregnant. The second time she ended up getting pregnant. She came to me later on. I didn't know she was pregnant or anything, and said, well, look, I'm pregnant, and I want to have an abortion. And when she first told me, I was excited. I was delighted. I never had a child before, never had a boy or a girl. And I felt at the time that this is what I was put on earth for, to pass a seed on, my name being a legend behind me. That's what I thought. One of the reasons I was put here.
Okay.
To spread my seed. All right. By me going with her, I want to do the right thing. I'm scared. I'm 24 years old. Don't know what to do. I was working while she was going to school. Didn't want to do it. Didn't have no, don't do it, which I did say, but she had her mind made up to do it. And I think she was going to school, and this is why she did it. Later on in life, make a long story short, try to speed everything up, we ended up marrying because I ended up having her pregnant again.
Boy, man,
so
boy,
in the situation,
shoot.
Double
with
dip.
all this, go ahead. What were you saying?
Boy,
No, go
y'all
ahead.
got, so she got pregnant because of because of the second one, you married her.
No. I didn't marry her. So then when after, it wasn't even, it might have been a year after that, or during the next half of the year, she got pregnant again. And at the time, I started to quit her because she had an abortion.
Oh.
I stayed with her. That was my mistake.
Mm.
I'm going to tell you why I said that. So in the process, she got pregnant again.
All right,
So
you got 30 seconds now.
She came and got
go
my
ahead.
money.
You got 30 seconds.
First time.
Mm.
She came and got my money. Everything's a ball about money. This Roe versus Wade is really about, if you ask a doctor, it's about money. Anyway, so she got pregnant again, and when she got pregnant again, she came to me again, and I said, no, I'm not going to do this no more. What we're going to do is get married.
Mm.
Now, I'm still in my 20s. She's still going to school at Westlake Job Corps, studying business administration. All right. Somehow, some way, we got married. If I said that wrong, I apologize, but we got married. Okay, after we got married, we ended up having other children just like normal people in this world, throughout the whole world do. But going back to what I want to challenge the lady is this. If you say, first of all, when a person get killed, that we talk about this gun violence over and over and over on the radio, and you want to ask that person, it's too late now to ask that person. Have you ever asked the child that you're taking abortion from how they feel about taking this baby out of the mama's womb? You can't. So when a person gets shot, you want to ask, well, what did he say? You can't do that because now they dead. Same thing with abortion. You want that child, you never know how that child feel about that womb being removed from that mother.
That's right.
But,
that's right.
And realistically, if you ask that child, these women will have a different opinion about abortion. Therefore, when I was going with this girl and she asked me for my money so she can have an abortion, instead of going, well, her mama already knew she was pregnant. So she could have got the money from the mama. But the mama probably told her, well, you need to get the money from Ali.
You need to get money from Ali because Ali laid up with you.
Yeah, the mama knew that she was pregnant. Okay, it wasn't no hiding or nothing like that.
Ali, we got to roll. We got another caller. We got about 15 minutes before the show over. So thank you for calling in, Ali. We really definitely appreciate you.
But before the caller comes, Brother Eric, if you out there, please try to get the statistics. I want to know the statistics on abortions with married couples and abortions with people that's just having sex. I want to know, you know what I'm saying? Is there a greater number? Because typically somebody that married that has kids usually don't abort.
Yeah, I mean, those numbers probably may be low. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? And I hope this is the sister that's been holding on. We appreciate you for holding on. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is she. This is Christina from Louisville, Kentucky.
Christina from Louisville.
All right, the doula is in the place to be.
Christina from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
All right, we are talking about Roe versus Wade.
Uh-huh.
So my opinion as a woman is going to be different than most women's opinion.
Okay, come on, let it roll.
I got some scriptures here.
Uh-oh. She came with a pistol.
Yeah. A fully loaded pistol like that.
We have Jeremiah 1:5.
Mm-hmm.
This is Yah speaking to the prophet Jeremiah. He told him that before you were formed in the womb, I knew you.
Before
you were born, I set you apart. And he appointed him as a prophet to the nations. And we have Psalms 139:14. And that's David saying, I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Between just those two scriptures, it is clear to me that no matter how a child is conceived, Yah has a plan for their life.
Amen.
I understand, there are women who are raped, and then there are women who, just lay down without protection. But a child is a blessing no matter what. That's what the Most High says. It is extremely hard for a lot of women to get pregnant. And that is because only the Most High is the giver and author of life. No matter what you do, no matter all of the different techniques and all of the different doctors you go to and the different hoops you jump through and the thousands of dollars that you spend to get pregnant, the Most High has the final say.
Yeah, it's definitely.
There are many children in the foster care system and the adoption system, and I understand why it would be more reasonable to allow more abortions. But at the end of the day, I believe that these decisions are just direct fight against what the Most High has said in His Word about life.
Right, and He said, "I create good and evil." And
Good
Job,
and
and Job said, "Should we take the bad from him, and should we take the good and not the bad from him?" Yeah, so you got to be willing to look at both sides of the coin.
But I so like how y'all bobbing y'all head now, that Sister Katrina, because when I made that statement earlier, but y'all look like y'all about to stone me.
You didn't make it earlier that way. See, it's how you present.
Articulated.
It's how you present and articulate your statement.
Okay.
That brings understanding and clarity to the listener.
Oh, okay.
There are two rulers in the Word who supported abortion.
All right.
Pharaoh and Herod.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened to them?
They didn't have the blood on the dough.
I tell you one thing though, Sister Christina. I hope your husband to be, whoever is listening, and he better be ready. And because if you come up, there ain't no options.
None. None.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for calling in, Sister Christina.
Thanks, sis.
We
We
really
appreciate
appreciate
it.
it. And blessings to you. And thank you for calling in with those scriptures.
That's right.
And blessings to you as well. Grace to you. All right.
Blessings to you all.
So what's going on, fellas? We got about a hot 17 minutes to go.
I'm going to do this for
y'all
D.
Got something y'all want to ask?
Shout out to Puffy Cone for pledging $1 million to our boy Deion Sanders in Jackson State down there. Yeah, he pledged $1 million.
Hey, man, look at, man,
whether he gonna get it or not, that's something different. But
no, I think he
gonna. Yeah, that's a great investment.
He gonna get it, man. Black. I mean, it's really been a blessing, and that's gonna be a subject we're gonna talk about on the show too. The HBCUs and how they coming up, and the coaching and the money that's being put in, and we're gonna also talk about some of these other what's the NIL deals, and those will be future conversations that we'll talk about on the show. But for right now, we definitely want to continue to put the number out there, 404-355-8699. If you want to call in and share your perspective on Roe versus Wade, I know we got some elders out there that listen to this show. Where the elders at? Y'all call in. I'm talking about elders. I'm talking about if you born after 68, don't even call up in here.
Well, I want to hear from somebody that possibly have had an abortion.
Yeah,
and I want to know, your feelings before. Did your feelings change after? I want to, I want to hear so we can get a better understanding.
Absolutely.
I'm one sitting right here.
Oh, well, no, you're not a female, but go ahead.
I'm not a female, but just from a male perspective,
okay.
any male who's actually dealt with that situation, this is when I was younger. Like, I don't, in my personal perspective, I thought she was doing it to get the money. But knowing what I know now about killing a child, I still had to repent from it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my whole thing. That's where my whole conviction came in, just for the fact that of what the Most High has showed me dealing with abortion, and the fact that anytime He show you something, you still got to repent of it.
Amen.
And so, yeah, right then, or when it happened, I wasn't thinking about it. It was just, I was young, I couldn't take care of a child, and it was just like anybody else. You just having sex. So yeah. So most of the time, most of the people who are getting abortions, they aren't doing it as a form of birth control, and this is why I don't agree with it. So and plus, when you look at the history of Planned Parenthood and how they set up shop in what we call the lesser communities, or the most of the time it's just for them to give out contraceptives and condoms and whatever. But it's promoting the lifestyle of fornication from the get-go.
Okay.
That's the root.
That's good.
That's the root of abortion to me. When I think of abortion, the root of it, for most people, I'm not saying for all people, because like I said, you have those certain cases where you may have rape, or you may have someone who's dealing with a health issue. But for the most part, when you see the history behind Planned Parenthood, most of it was to promote us being promiscuous and being in fornication. And therefore, after that fact, they say, okay, since y'all been promiscuous, y'all didn't use y'all didn't use the stuff we gave you to protect it, because and I know a lot of people I came up with, like even a friend of mine, at some point he said, well, I don't feel like using condoms no more because it feel better without. And I've heard a lot of people say this. Like,
well, that's why you ready to get you your one wife.
Right, exactly. See, but like this is the mind state of people.
What I'm
saying. And know her.
Right, exactly. Right. So but
that's
yeah,
right.
But it's just so many traps, man. And then after the fact, it's like, okay, since that don't happen, okay, we got the abortion clinic set up for y'all, so y'all can go ahead and kill this child after the fact that y'all don't produce this child.
So let me do a little spiritual aspect on that.
Hold on a minute, Case, real quick. As a matter of fact, to your point, Brother Timothy Merritt was even talking about Margaret Singer earlier and how Planned Parenthood and all that stuff. But I want to get some shout-outs really quick. Shout out to Brother Leon Allen in the building. Shout out to AJ Smith in the building. Shout out to my illustrious queen, Emma Brown, in the building. Timothy Merritt in the building. Brother Robert Stokes in the building. Shout out to the Dr. Howard Akins Jr. in the building. Shout out to Sister Nicoya in the building, as well as, who else am I forgetting? Let me see here, scrolling up. Brother Gary Sampson Jr. out there at Boom, New Orleans. Brother Rick King, what's going on? Shalom to you. Sister Micaiah, shalom. Sister Lisa Burton down there at Boom, Jacksonville. Shout out to you. My brother, my blood brother, P. Love, Atherin Love in the building. Pastor Jay Jordan, Sister Tanya Moon, and everybody else. Morad Dakota Stone and everybody else that's in the building. Thank you all. We got one caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's going on?
Shalom, family. This is Brother Devarius, man.
Brother
Shalom,
Devarius. No
Welcome
homo.
to the show.
You got to say that.
Yeah.
When I say Brother D, you got to say no homo.
Yeah.
You know
You
what
gotta
I'm
say
saying?
pause.
Yeah, you got to say pause. I'm sorry.
Or D Money.
Pause,
D Money.
Just don't call them delicious.
I was just listening, like I said, listening to Elder Eric, and it made me think about something in regards to, I know we're talking about Roe versus Wade, and we're talking about the physical acts of women going into clinics and getting an abortion. But I remember a time in which, my younger days, I was out there sowing my royal oats. As they
Right.
My
Prince
college
Hakeem all day, boy.
Correct. But I thought about something that we don't even think about as well is, now they have this thing called Plan B.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I had to repent of that, because I remember I got into a situation myself, and I was asked not to go get an abortion, but I was asked to pay for a Plan B pill. And I think about that now. Like it's the same process. It's just
another way.
Once you get into the contraceptive act, I mean the egg, it's fertilized and it's on the process. When you take that Plan B pill, it's a matter of just basically pushing out the whole process and killing the seed so it doesn't survive. And I just thought about that. I just posed the question: what do we think about the Plan B aspect of it?
Okay. Hey, thanks for calling, Brother Voice. We got one more caller we're going to get in here before we get off the air. Thank you for calling as well. It's pretty much the same
love
thing,
you,
like I said.
Love
you as well, man.
Thanks, we love you, brother.
Oh, he's gone? Okay.
Okay. You got anything else you want to add with that, Brother Vars?
He gone.
Oh, he gone? Okay.
That's what I was going to put out, because Brother DeVars brought up another aspect, Plan B. Honestly, do we all think, we can hear from all five of y'all, all four of you, do you think that the concept of abortion and the following through of abortion is God-inspired?
No.
Hold on, let's get him on the record.
You say
is it God inspired? Is it a blessing from the Lord? Is it of the Lord of abortion? Is it
structure in the system?
The whole structure system? Is it of God or is it of the devil?
I don't think. I think some things, something can be just is.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be a devil. It doesn't have to be.
Well, let me be specific.
Some stuff
would God co-sign it?
I don't think so. I don't believe so. Especially when it's the child is still in the created in the imago Dei. It's still created in the image of God. So as long as it's created in the image of God, we're not talking about the choice of if the child is made a good choice or a bad choice, right or wrong, no good from evil, none of that. Just anybody that's created, according to our faith, is created in the imago Dei, in the image of God. We're not dealing with the religious aspect, but just the creation process.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bishop, but I wanted to add this, dealing with this Roe versus Wade thing, and I think this is very important. Just from a political standpoint, I feel that it's done just to add confusion and to bring division.
Who's the author of confusion?
I'm gonna say this: the Democrats ain't did nothing.
And I'm gonna tell you the reason. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. I'm saying
all
this.
All foolishness because these Democrats. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. Now call up here old heads and holler at me.
Right, because when they passed this from the Supreme Court, just think about it. Each state still has the opportunity to vote people in to say whether they want to do it or not. So this is not a solidified thing.
Because it can change.
It can change, right? So this is not nothing solidified. So with people arguing against one another, and this is why I say it's done to create division. Because at the end of the day, Texas had already changed theirs before this even passed, where they made it so you can't allow it. But at the end of the day, it's going to be between Republicans and Democrats, and that's why I say this is political. I believe it's spiritual too. I believe there's many aspects to it, but I believe it's more to create division more than anything.
All right, Dick, you got anything before we go? We got 2 minutes.
I'm just going to say, like it should say, count the costs. See
Amen.
if you got enough money to.
That's right.
Hey, if you can pay for it, count the costs.
That's what's up. Any last words, my brother? Oh,
What did you learn from listening to that?
He said, I ain't getting involved in this right here. I'm standing clear of this.
Right.
My girl might.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Miles have kids himself, so evidently he must think high enough of the Most High or the life. Because what if your wife would have said, Miles, on the second child, not even the first one, I want to have an abortion.
Right.
Yeah. I was young. I was 19 when I had my first one, and I wasn't in a position to have a baby, but abortion didn't cross our mind.
Hallelujah.
It didn't cross our mind one time. So, had my second one at 24. So, I think you could probably say that is the way I was raised and the godly values I carry.
All right. Hallelujah.
So, yeah.
I know one thing. I probably wouldn't be sitting here if I approached Lady Emma about to my aborting them kids.
Listen here.
I probably wouldn't even be sitting there.
Thank God. Thank God.
I think it's a blessing. It's a blessing to have a child because all women can't have children.
That's right. That's right.
The word says that children is a heritage from the Most High. That's what it says. And if you don't believe it, go look it up. Go to somebody who know the word and they'll show it to you.
Well, all right, everybody. That's it. We are about probably 30 seconds away. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Boom Radio.
Right. Make sure y'all check us out on YouTube. Man. Boom Church on YouTube. Go ahead, check us out.
Listen. You don't want to miss next week. In 2 weeks, the women of Boom will be in here holding it down.
That's right. Hey, and they going to get their point of views on Roe versus Wade. We want them to do that if y'all willing.
All right. Thank y'all, man.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.